Dreams of Yesterday. Chapter 1. It was everywhere. The water. It swirled all around him, filling his lungs, making it impossible for the child to breathe. He strained to reach his arms up towards the light, but as the light nothing could get dimmer and more blurred, the boy knew it was hopeless. Gazing up at the retreating light, he watched as his symbol of hope was blotted out by the silhouette of a fish. Not even knowing how, as the soul of his being was focused on trying to obtain the much-needed oxygen to sustain life, his mind somehow wandered to the fish. How it swam so freely, with no struggle or pain, throughout the water. The boy in the water couldn't do anything but wish he too could have the same ease, but it was hopeless, as he felt the life his small body was so struggling to keep begin to fade away. Soon after, his alarm went off. The silver-haired boy moaned, slamming a pale hand down on the annoying machine. Stupidly, he groaned, recalling the strange, reoccurring dream. His mother has always told him that if you had a dream 3 times, then it was destined to come true. Let's see. The first time he could remember having the dream, he was 5. He says the first time he'd now had it 11 more times for a total of 12 times. So the dream about him dying a horrible death should have come true about 4 times. Looks like Mom was wrong so far. Anyway, the boy thought, before quickly shaking his head as if to rid himself of both the thoughts of his mother and the imaginary water in his dream. He still left the ghosts of water trails all over his skinny body and in his hair. Husky, Mom said to be down in 5 minutes if you don't want to be late on your first day. The red-haired boy, about a year older than the one on the bed, said, sticking his head into the doorway. Yeah, Keen, whatever. The boy in the bed grumbled, not bothering to remind him that his name was Mira, not Husky, and that the woman who had said to come downstairs was not his mother. Husky, or Mira, depending on who you were talking to, hurriedly got dressed and headed downstairs, dropping his book bag on the way. Keen was already sitting at the dining room table, eating what appeared to be Cheerios. Husky walked past him and into a bathroom, not sure why he didn't just use the one upstairs. Or he was tired and must have just forgotten. Looking at his reflection in the fancy mirror on the wall, Husky couldn't help but grimace. It wasn't that he thought himself ugly or any of the sorts, it was actually quite the opposite. Between his silver hair, ocean blue eyes, and pale smooth skin, he was really quite beautiful and exotic looking, much to almost any 10-year-old boy's dismay. Grabbing a hairbrush, he knew in the back of his mind why he grimaced. He didn't look like his father. No, neither him nor Keen did. But he had to be the spitting image of his newly deceased mother. She had died in a car crash a little over a month ago. When he had found out what had caused the other car to slam into his mother's, he swore never to drink alcohol. He had come to live with his father, his wife, and their son, his half-brother Keen, after that. Although his mother never told him any details, he knew that she had been clueless that his father was already married with a year-old son when he was born. Putting the brush down and looking into the mirror again, he grimaced once more before shaking his head for the second time that morning. How do you get over someone when you see them whenever you look at your own reflection? Walking back into the dining room, Keen gave him a small smile. Before he had moved in, whenever the 2 boys were in the same room, all that would be transferred between them were insults, glares, and even physical attacks. The nickname Husky had even been a jab at his voice created by Keen, although ironically, he had liked the name and had stopped protesting when Keen called him that. and he even decided that he could go by that name if he needed to, instead of the strange-sounding Mira that teachers always pronounced the wrong way. Sitting at the table, Husky swirled the cereal in his bowl around with a spoon, not particularly hungry after his dream and his thoughts of his mother. Keen stood up after glancing at the clock hanging on the wall. "Hey, we should get going if we're going to be on time," the ginger said, grabbing his book bag off the chair. Husky, simply nodding, and started to follow suit, not extremely excited about his first day at a new school. It wasn't that he was going to miss his friends in his old school. They didn't exist. He just didn't want to go through the whole new kid phase, and he would have to catch up with any work he had missed in the past month. Walking on the cracked sidewalk, both boys were mostly silent. Glancing around himself, Husky tried to find a few visual landmarks to go by in case he ever needed to walk to or back from school without Keen. A park, 7-Eleven, a church, all normal neighbourhood things. Keen was making a habit of kicking up the coloured leaves scattered on the ground. Despite being annoyed greatly by it, Husky decided not to say anything, already seeing the school come into view. Sighing softly under his breath, Husky attempted to brace himself for the onslaught of work, other kids, and teachers that was about to be thrown his way, whether he was ready for it or not.